Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to episode 73 of House and Garden Flipper. We're going to head straight over and work on the English garden. Sorry, I'm a little bit late today. I had 5,000 words to write, and I just got the last 5,000 written a few minutes ago. So that just kind of had to happen. I'll be writing a bit more after this, but this is my break time. We are going into the Connoisseur's house. Our bank account looks really healthy at the moment. Kind of pleased with that. It's not going to change by itself, is it? The Smoth family down in the bottom left-hand corner say a big and comfortable bed is what we need if we want a large family. Hence why they get very excited when you do a proper bedroom for them, but not as excited as when you do a proper kitchen. So, this is what we have so far for our English garden. We have roses, we have those are daylilies, we have mass plantings. Hopefully I haven't gone too overboard with that. We've got little odd flowers growing up in the lawn. I decided to go with the border effect for the little, what are they called again? They're not chrysanthemums, they're marigolds. Marigolds are really pretty if you've ever done that. So anyway, let's head over to plants. Let's have a look at some alternative border flowers. I don't want red. Let's have a quick looky see. We've got some anemones. They're kind of pink. I think having pink would be a bit too much of a contrast. Let's go with chrysanthemums. Just trying to imagine what chrysanthemums would look like. I may have to stick with my my little yellow flowery things, marigolds. Oh, they've put Adonis in here as well. That's pretty cute. Okay, let's duck down to our marigolds, who are big and blustery. And I won't put too many in here. I'm just going to smack them in just kind of along the edges. Come on. There we go. And I also need to put some plant lights in, so hopefully we can get this done before dark. But even if we can't, we'll try and get some of the plant life in. So yeah. So like I said, I'm going to try and make my my broadcast about this time each day. But I do have a pretty chunky deadline to meet as well, so that's going to have to take priority. As I go through, so just gave up on that. There we go. Alright, so we're not going to actually do a border with these. We're just going to do just enough around the edges to keep that theme between them going, and hopefully that will give us enough leeway that by the end of the day we'll be able to sell this place and see what sort of a profit we can make. Like I said, I don't know if actually I'm pretty sure they haven't quite implemented the type of garden having an effect on the buyers yet. They are talking about it, so I'm really looking forward to that. It kind of gives the garden more purpose than just for adding you know, a percentage of profit to your property. So that really helps. Like I said, English gardens take a little bit to do because you're doing mass plantings and there's a lot of little individual plants to throw in. I like them because you get all the colours, and I love colour, so I get the excuse to play with colour and different styles of plants as we go. That's pretty good. Now we have... Right, yeah, see, look, if I'd done a full border of marigolds, that would have been way too much. As it is, I'm kind of got my doubts, but we'll leave it at that. We'll try not to fall in the pond as we go through. This, however, this needs a border because that's what we started with for the rest of it. So we'll just quickly smack in a bit of a border around the edge. Okay, not quickly, but, you know, as quickly as you can with this. We're just using the mouse wheel to orient the plants. Sometimes they'll fit, sometimes they won't. I'll just put it back the way I want it, and then we'll work on distance. There we go. Oh dear. So yeah, that flu is quite pernicious. It's still hanging around. Like I said, I had a few days off where I did no recording and I did no broadcasting at all because I just had no voice. That and coughing and sneezing at you every 20 seconds is just really not something I wanted to do. So yeah, but like I said, these are the games that I like to play when I need to chill. And if you've ever done 5 hours of writing story, occasionally you need a brain break when you hit that 5-hour mark. Actually, it's a little bit less than 5 hours. I've done really well with the words today. So this is my reward for getting the words done. And I'm going to put in an extra time this afternoon on them too, because I didn't get a lot of writing done. I got a lot of sleeping done, but not a lot of writing in the last few days. So all of that ground needs to be made up. But if there's one thing I learned, if you push it too hard, you don't end up gaining ground, you lose ground. And that's not what we want to do after a few days off. So yeah, it's a bit of a thing. Work-life balance. If you're starting off on a writing career, there are things that you need to remember that you need to maintain as you go through it. You know, your health is important, and not just your physical health, but your mental health. So just occasionally, you take a break. And I found by scheduling my breaks in to my work day, I get a lot less anxious about whether or not I get to play a game or take a rest or whatever. So that helps. Probably works the same for pretty much any career you do. Anything you do, you've just got to schedule time. But you also have to make sure you get the work done that you need to get done. Always try and plan in a little bit of extra so you get a bit of breathing room as well, especially when you're working from home at your own pace. So it's very easy to forget when you first start out that you do have to work. It's kind of like Tetris with flowers, really, when you think about it. Look at that. If I just angle it, it will fit. Alright, we're nearly done. Mind you, you do get to that point in the design where you're like, oh god, I just wish it would be over. Because it does take so long to do. I'm actually going to stick an extra one in here if I can fit it. Oh boy, I've got a whole nother side of the house to go. That's okay. Let's see if we can't get it just done quick. Alright, so once we get the these flowers in, I'm going to think about what else I might want to add. I think I'm going to actually put in the stepping stones next. And garden lights, and we'll also do some garden furniture on the patios at the front and at the back. So we'll make a bit of a reading nook on the front patio. That's probably going to be the easiest and the least time consuming of the garden. Will be the reading nook on the front patio and like a little coffee table area out the back on the back patio. I can't remember for the life of me if that's a good part for an English garden or not. But to reference it, I would have to tell it I was interested in an auction, in the garden competition, and then cancel it. And I mean, if I do that early enough, there's no delay. But if I forget and do that a bit later in the game, I'm going to have a bit of a delay, and I'll try not to hit you with a 10-minute wait for the next garden auction. I really wish these marigolds were a little yellower. They're very orange, but that's okay. They're very English. If you're waiting on episodes of Yelena, for my time at Porsche, I just have to process them. I've recorded the next batch, but I've been a bit light on processing time. So that's scheduled for this afternoon. I have to write and I have to publish. So processing will probably happen a little bit this afternoon while I'm editing, and maybe I'll finish it up tomorrow. So you should have your first episode of your next episode of my time at Porsche up either late tomorrow or early the day after. It's just a matter of fitting it in as I play catch up with my schedule. Even though they're pretty much a straight playthrough, I do actually do a little bit of editing to make sure they're not completely to make sure they're okay. There's sometimes in those recording sessions I get some things cropping up in the background. There we go. Just got to do around the tree. And I do have a couple more episodes of Desert Skies that I'm supposed to have processed as well, that I'm still catching up with. So those would be the Halloween episodes. But they're a little way off. So yeah. So talk about games that are getting some love. Those are not bad games in either of them. What I'm really looking forward to is the DLC coming out for this one, the garden show DLC, and I'm hoping that's not too far off. So when that comes in, you'll see a bit of that added into the gameplay as well, because I'm going to buy it the minute it comes out. I don't tend to get keys for the games. I just tend to buy what I like and play what I like. So if that changes, I'll let you know, but that's pretty much how I run at the moment. So yeah. Now I need to right click on that. Alrighty, we have our front garden mostly done. I'm going to put some lights in. Let's have a quick look. I love this because it remembers everything. So you got your decorations and you got lamps. Now what kind of looks arty enough to suit her? I mean, we've got the flowers. Actually, they look really pretty when you put them in. And there's roses, but they're red. I don't know if red will actually suit it. Blue might, but there's a lot of blue already. We might just go with the gothic lamp. Let's have a look at that. It's a green. There's not a lot of difference visually. I'm going to go with the green. I just like the idea of it. So we'll buy many of those and we'll just start up here and go nuts with them. Well, okay, not too nuts. If I can fit them in the garden itself, I'll be happier. Ah, there we go. Just kind of space them out a little bit. If we can. Obviously. Oops, there we go. I'm just going to have to wiggle it just a little bit. There we go. Alright, that side done. Let's get the front done here. Yeah, I must put those in really tight. Hang on a minute, I saw green a minute ago. Alright, I'll put that there. It'll just have to be. Okay. And through we go. Okay, that is everything in that area done. Just trying to work out if I can put any lamps in these little seas of... I think they look a bit odd. Kind of on the edges. I might try putting one there. Okay. And one there maybe. Nope. Oh, wait. It's a bit far out for what I want. There it is. Okay. Alrighty. One there. Pop another one, hopefully. There. And we'll tuck another one in there. If I can, I'd like to put one kind of here and then another one on the other side, just to balance it out. Not necessarily in the path, but right next to it would be good. Go into our little nook where we're going to have a reading nook. Don't know if I can add any lamps in here. No, it doesn't look like it. Aha. Alrighty. Okay, so that's pretty good. Alright, lanterns on that side. Let's just get the lamps in on this side. I'd like to set them further in amongst the flowers, but I don't think it's going to let me. So we'll just pop them kind of at semi-even intervals along the edge. Sometimes it's just a matter of changing your angle. And making sure that you click while it's still green. It's probably too close together is what I'm thinking. I like the green aspect on the things, though. That works. Alright, I'm going to try and get one in here somewhere, but I'm not sure I can. The problem with mass planning, it's possible I should have put the lights in first and then put the plants around them, but I'm not going to undo it now. We'll put one there. And we'll put one there. And I just cheat and put that just inside. Again, sometimes you just got to change the angle of how you're looking at it so that the machine can see that you've got the space to do it. Okay. Does so fit in there. Kind of getting the impression that the height of the flowers is also part of the problem rather than the actual space on the ground. So if there's an overhang of flowers, it's not going to go in. Oops, I think I forgot to do... Yeah, I did. So let's continue around this corner because we haven't done it yet. There's one there. And one there. Which means I need one kind of in here somewhere. Oops. Yeah. Okay, so that's there. Let's put this one. If I can get one just kind of here, and then one just kind of here, that'll be good. And then I want another one just kind of... Okay, that will do. Okay, it looks like I'll only be able to have one right next to it. We'll put the other one here. And we'll put another one about here. And we'll put one about there. Yep. Right, little lighthouses so you don't walk onto the garden too much. Which means I want one maybe in there. Okay, let's back it up a little bit. There was a green flash a minute ago. I'm just going to try and find that spot again. Ah, there it is. Awesome. And we'll put one, oops, there. Add another one. Right there. should do that section. Let's just check along the fence line. There's one. So I want another one in here. And I'd like another one there. Yep. I do. I think I've already got one here in this corner. Good. Alright, now we're done with the lamps. Right, so we've got the inside part of that fence line done. And the front fence done. Now what we really need is, let's lay down the pavers. Looks like we'll get a chance to see what our lights are like. We just have to hit, I forgot, you've got to hit each one individually. That's annoying, but there we go. Because you can get a better idea of the effect you've created, like once you can see them. And that's not a bad effect at all. It's not gonna work. There it is. Remind me next time I put lamps in to press the on switch as I go past them. That's looking a bit better. Yeah, see, that makes a big difference to your garden. Alright. Just go into here. One there. That's it. Right, so what I wanted to do in here was just a very, very quick little reading nook. I also noticed that they've got some plants in pots, which I think was in the house, but let's see if we can put them outside. So we'll go into decorations and we'll go into plants. And what we might do is look for some of these bigger pots that we couldn't use really inside. So you use spathiphyllum, which we'll hit with the pink. And we might buy many. Let's have a look. Blue, green. It's not bad. Actually, I like that. Let's do that. Alright, so we're going to pop, if we can, one there. Can I turn it? Yes. It's not quite square, but that's because it won't fit if I make it square. So we're going to just make ourselves a little space in this corner here. As best we can. Basically, the problem we've got here is that the leaves are poking into the walls, so it does make it occasionally hard to place them. You know, I don't like them. Yeah. No. Okay, they don't work. Let's just get rid of them. Alright, so what I wanted to do is I wanted to put a small, like, chair in this area from outside. So we go to furniture and we're going to go to chairs, and I want a kind of a, you know, just a comfy chair. That looks pretty comfy. This is not bad either, the Bisane. Pufsami. I'm a bit torn between the Bisane or the Jamaica. Let's have a look at this. Let's just turn it so we can see everything. I'm just trying to think if it's modern enough for our artist. Otherwise, you know, she might have a bit of a cow over it. Okay, I don't know about her, but I'm having a cow over that one. Make the... Alright, let's have a look at that. Okay, so what we want really is probably the coffee to match in with the walls. Yeah, and then we want to change the cushion to, I don't know, something like that. Yeah, okay. That doesn't work. Let's try the other one we were looking at. Okay, we're going to have the same sort of problem with it that we had with the other one. So we're going to go with the brown, we're going to go with the light. Okay, let's go with that. Legs can stay as that. I'm going to buy 2 of them. Just angle them in a little bit. Put, what about here? Actually, you know what? We might buy just 1 of them. And then we're going to get a table to go with that. Just remember the colour that I used. I think it was that one. Pop that there. Right, pop it there. And we might stick a book on that table. Books. Yeah, let's go with rare plants. I don't know, I think I like the red one better. I know, we're choosing books by their covers now. And just because I can. Let's go with a small plate. And I think we want a cup. There was a teacup earlier, but okay, I'll deal with that one. Alright. Now the only problem with that is that this corner now wants something and I can't work out what it is. Let's stop playing with that corner before I completely muck it up. It's only semi-mucked up of what it is. We'll leave that as that. Now, we wanted stepping stones. We need surfaces and paving stepping stones. There we go. Now we can have a number of looks with our stepping stone. We have big ones and mixed ones. So I think I'm going to go with the differences between chopped and let's just go with these. All right, there's my winner. Okay. Oh goodness, really? Excellent. Okay. Okay. Now theoretically I should probably put some kind of garden in the middle there. So it kind of makes this garden really complicated if I do. So we have stepping stones, we have the front area, we've got the lights in, we've finished the fence line, except for the outer fence line. And we just need, what I might do for the last part of this session is I might put in a small sitting area here. And we'll see how that goes. Furniture. Okay, so we're going to look at benches. Sofas as well, but I'm trying to get a balance between it. See, I kind of like that one. That's kind of cool. Maybe not with that. Probably with that. Flip it. Oops. So it blends in with the wall at that point. And that gives you space for a coffee table. I suppose we could stick some kind of vase or something on that. Okay, it's under decorations, right. I'd love to be able to put some flowers in it, but I don't think it's going to happen. So we'll pop those over there. There's not really any space for anything else, so we might just leave that as that. Doesn't look too bad, it'll be fine. And I think that is where we might leave it. The thing that I'm looking at now is that the outer edges of this garden look very bare. And I'm thinking it needs a border of some kind of mixed low-growing flowers. But exactly what, I don't know. And it also needs, they did say one of the things that English gardens had was like little secret nooks. So I mean, you would have something like, let's just go over to furniture. Thinking it's benches. Yeah, benches. So you'd have something like the benches hidden in the corners of the garden. And so you might have, say, a bench here, and then surround that with plants, and maybe have a little pond or something, depending how much space you've got. You know what? I think we do have space for a pond. We have space for a pond about here, which means that we want to put our chair about there. So we'll put some plants in along here, and maybe a couple of bushes on either end, just to make that a little hidden nook. And then what we'll do is we'll grab a pond. Not architecture. Is it decorations? Yeah, water tanks. So then what we'll do is we'll grab a tiny little pond, if we can find one. So maybe that. And yeah, give it that. And we will put it... Oh my god, that's not tiny. It's not at all what I had in mind. It's way too big. What about that one? Let's have a quick look, see. Okay, that's more the size I was thinking of. So what I might do is I might put that about here. And we'll put that in. You know, I'm going to come in here tomorrow and go, oh my god, what was I thinking? Okay, where's our pond? Let's not hose the garden chair. Let's just bring that down here. Maybe. Right, so we're going to make a space here tomorrow to just deal with the pond. Actually, I might put a second pond in about there. Just back it up so I get a better visual on it. Yep, so what we're going to do is put a pond about here. And then we'll put probably paving stones here. We'll block off the access to that space for putting a garden bed in there. Probably put some plants in about here so that you've got to come in through this space. And then you'll work your way back out. We'll put probably some bushes and things about here. Maybe a low growing garden bed along here. We might actually leave that just as an area for a sun chair. So just to remind myself what I'm doing tomorrow. See, I like these out of all of them, but yeah, actually let's do that. Again, we'll just go with our coffee. That'll do. I might just pop that about there. That can be just like a little reading nook. You have the garden running along the outside. We'll run stepping stones throughout from that point. Probably add a little cluster of plants here. Leave that kind of blank. Add another little cluster of plants about here and running around the fence line. And then I'll think about what I'll put in here. So it looks like we've got one, maybe two more episodes before I'm ready to finish the English garden. But that's where it stands for the moment. So yeah. Right. Let's just have a look back that way. Okay. So if you've enjoyed this episode, please hit that like button, and if you want to see more of this content, just please hit that subscribe button. And this is where we'll leave it for the day. Thanks for hanging with me, and I will see you all tomorrow. See you later, guys.